Now available, Fedora on Lenovo laptops. Posted by Matthew Miller on September 25, 2020. 68 comments. Recent posts. Secure NTP with NTS. Incremental backup with Butterfly Backup. Web of Trust, Part 2, Tutorial. We've been teasing this for a while, but today it's finally true. Fedora Workstation is now available pre-installed on the Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Carbon Gen 8, ThinkPad P53, and ThinkPad P1 Gen 2 laptops. The ThinkPad X1 Carbon is available today for direct consumer purchase from Lenovo's online store. The Lenovo ThinkPad P1 Gen 2 and ThinkPad P53 will be available next week via the Contact Us icon on Lenovo.com. What's more, the successor models are in the works for preload and online ordering as well. Lenovo has been a great partner in bringing this to market. Like the Fedora community, they are operating on an upstream first model. That's part of why the only thing you'll see on the laptop that doesn't come from an official Fedora repository is a set of PDFs providing documentation and legal notices. Lenovo engineers have been contributing to the Linux kernel, including a patch to enable the lap mode sensor, which is already accepted. They have also worked with their vendors to improve Linux support in devices like the fingerprint scanner. Of course, you already know that open source is about more than just the technology. The community is what makes it great. Lenovo is a member of Fedora and other communities. In addition to participating in the usual Fedora places, like the Devil mailing list, they also were a gold-level sponsor of our Nest with Fedora conference. And they have a dedicated Fedora section on their community forum. Mark Pearson, senior Linux developer, said doing open source the right way is important to us at his Nest with Fedora Q&A session. This will be a global program, but it will take some time to roll out country by country. If it doesn't appear on the website in your country, call the local sales number for your country to place a phone order. I'm excited to have Lenovo offer Fedora Workstation as a supported choice on their laptops. This is a great opportunity to grow our community. Like this. New in Fedora using hardware Fedora Workstation Lenovo. Matthew Miller. Matthew is the Fedora project leader. You can find him on the Fedora mailing lists or Freenode as Madam, or at Madam on Twitter. Matthew's content on this site is made available under the Creative Commons Attribution Share Alike 4.0 International License, or an earlier CC BY-SA license. If you need that for compatibility, share all you like, give credit, and let others share as well. 68 comments. Add comment. Linux user. This is good news. Can you please provide the link the UK store to? September 25, 2020. Reply. Matthew Miller. As noted, you'll have to call https://www.lenovo.com/gb/and/contact. Hopefully global web sales coming soon. September 25, 2020. Reply. Tom. Called them and they say they have no plans to offer this in the UK, so this is USA only. September 30th, 2020. Reply. Matthew Miller. That's definitely wrong. It is supposed to be global. Do you mind posting this experience on the Lenovo forum at https://forums.lenovo.com/t5/fedora/bd-p/lx04_n?? Thanks. September 30th, 2020. Reply. Alejandro. Now Lenovo only need to add an AMD CPU/GPU to their X Carbon series, and I'll throw my money at them. September 25th, 2020. Reply. Matthew Miller. Post to the Lenovo forum thread here, https://forums.lenovo.com/t5/fedora/who-wants-AMD/m-p/50326614. They're really listening. September 25th, 2020. Reply. E-Visa. Is it free? September 26th, 2020. Reply. Anibo. I second that. September 29th, 2020. Reply. Scott Williams. I third that. September 29th, 2020. Reply. Martin. From the page linked in this article, it looks like the ThinkPad X1 Carbon is about $900 more expensive if you get it with Linux. If true, that really sucks. September 25th, 2020. Reply. Matthew Miller. It wasn't that way last week. Looks like the models were discounted across the line, but right now only pre-made ones are and not custom options, and Fedora Workstation is only available on the custom options. There's a bootstrap problem, because they haven't sold enough custom ones yet to determine what the pre-made configurations should be. Working with Lenovo now on getting that straightened out. Stay tuned. September 25th, 2020. Reply. Michael. It is. I got a better equipped 8th Gen X1 Carbon, i7 CPU, 512GB HDD, 16GB RAM, UHD touchscreen, for almost half the price that I would have paid at Lenovo. I saw and got this deal from Costco and quickly canceled my order. Sorry Fedora, but frankly I can install Linux on almost any computer I want, but I do not see why I should pay more for the Linux option out of the factory. Oh, also I get it tomorrow. Not sometime after October 15th. September 29th, 2020. Reply. Banked. Same model and spec, Windows $1,249.99, Linux $2,145. Why? September 25th, 2020. Reply. Einar Peterson. Hey banked. Look at the customized ones. The Fedora base is $2,145, and the Windows base is $2,219. You need to compare apples to apples. Slightly smiling face. September 25th, 2020. Reply. Matthew Miller. Yeah, for some reason there aren't any discounts on the custom models right now. Keep watching. September 25th, 2020. Reply. Andrew. Awesome. Do you know when Lenovo's UK store will offer these? September 25th, 2020. Reply. Ben Cotton. We don't have a timeline for the different geographies from Lenovo. You can order by phone if they're not available on the web store. September 25th, 2020. Reply. Edward. What about desktops machines? Would love to see a desktop model preloaded. September 25th, 2020. Reply. Matthew Miller. That's part of the longer-term plan, yes. September 25th, 2020. Reply. Madler. I recently got the Windows version, Ireland, and installed Fedora 32, and everything is working perfectly. Would just be curious to see BIOS settings on the Linux version. September 25th, 2020. Reply. Matthew Miller. I'm told that the settings which say Windows 10 only are actually correct for Fedora. The Linux kernel also has the ability to take advantage of these modern features. So don't change things to Linux. The Lenovo folks are working to update the text in the BIOS, but it takes time. September 25th, 2020. Reply. Madler. I didn't change much so far. Disabled secure boot, required, set video MEM to 512, didn't change Thunderbolt 3 settings other than what was needed to be able to increase video memory. Found online a few settings related to the X1 Carbon Gen 7, but didn't play with those yet. Sleep mode changed to Linux. Did this before installing Linux, so, to be fair, wouldn't know if that made any actual difference versus the Windows 10 setting. All in all, I'm quite happy with the laptop so far, upgraded from a 4-year-old T470. Let's see what the next BIOS updates will bring. Slightly smiling face. September 25th, 2020. Reply. Elliot S. Disabled secure boot required. What do you mean required? Fedora has supported secure boot for several years. September 26th, 2020. Reply. Madler. Disabled it while installing, had to do that before. Assumed it was still required. Might give it a try. September 26th, 2020. Reply. Madler. Met required to boot from USB to install. September 26th, 2020. Reply. Matthew Miller. It's not though. Our boot images are properly signed and configured, and should just work with secure boot. September 27th, 2020. Reply. Madler. Cool. Just gave it for granted as it was the case for me in the past. Just disabled as soon as I switched on. Anyhow, turned it back on. Thanks for the info. September 27th, 2020. Matthew Miller. You shouldn't need to disable secure boot. Mine actually came with it disabled, because it does need to be off on the models where the NVIDIA proprietary driver is best, and they want the settings to be the same, but I turned it back on and it's fine. I also increased the video memory, and did the same thing with the Thunderbolt. Slightly smiling face. You might want to put the sleep mode back to Windows 10. That lets you use the new S09 sleep modes, which give the same power savings as S3 yet let you sleep and resume faster. I've been using it since I've got mine and noticed no problems. September 26th, 2020. Reply. Madler. Cool, thanks for the info. September 26th, 2020. Reply. Madler. Cool, just set that back to Windows 10, suspend loose to be faster indeed. Thanks for the hint. September 26th, 2020. Reply. Nef, at Nefscape. Not in Switzerland and in most countries outside USA. Boo. September 25th, 2020. Reply. Ben Cotton. They should be globally available, even if your local website hasn't added them yet. You'll have to call the local sales number to order. September 25th, 2020. Reply. G.G. Ashbrook. So exciting. Progress for sure. September 25th, 2020. Reply. Gabriel. Please more on BRTFS. Dedup and compression will be available? Thanks. September 25th, 2020. Reply. Andropause. Good to know that it comes pre-installed. I have an old laptop, AMD 450 CPU, 4GB RAM, and I had to install Linux on it as the Windows 7 that came pre-installed became so slow that it was unusable. Fedora was the only distro that I managed to install, and now the laptop works perfectly well. No point in throwing away a working machine. It is slow for browsing but works like a charm when coding some Python, C++ or Lisp. September 25th, 2020. Reply. Tane Deshmukh. Although I don't have the funds to buy one of these, I hope this means that Lenovo will invest more in working with the Fedora, and Linux kernel teams to improve hardware support for my Lenovo IdeaPad 5. Although installing a Fedora is a very easy process, it warms my heart to see the largest PC and laptop vending company in the world openly support our community on their flagship devices. September 25, 2020. Reply. Medi. The Linux one is much more expensive. $2,145,000. Seems quite expensive for a laptop with 8 GB of RAM and no dedicated GPU. Does Lenovo donate portion of the sale to Fedora project? September 26, 2020. Reply. Pierre. Good news, but I would prefer less expensive models. Why no Linux on Chromebook or student laptops? I had bought a ThinkPad L380 with Windows 10. I use it with dual boot Windows, Fedora. Everything works perfectly. September 26, 2020. Reply. Matthew Miller. Lenovo made this decision based on the demand they're getting from their customers. I'd love to see a Fedora OS available on some of the more affordable options as well. September 26, 2020. Reply. Tormod McLeod. I'd buy one. I don't need a powerhouse. It'd also be a good way of reaching kids, students, and the elderly, many of whom have limited budgets and needs. This is a significant step forward though. Good news. September 29, 2020. Reply. George. Good news. Can the Fedora team check with Lenovo on the fix for the touchpad? This issue affects many. I have seen a few points online, but it does not seem to be addressed. Have a Lenovo IdeaPad S145-14 IIL with Fedora 33 pre-release. The touchpad does not work and does not even show under settings, mouse and touchpad. Thanks. September 26, 2020. Reply. Imran. How much is the price of new Fedora Lenovo? September 26, 2020. Reply. George. How did Lenovo Fedora solve the touchpad issue? Can the solution be publicized for the benefit of all Lenovo laptops running Fedora while the touchpad is dysfunctional? September 26, 2020. Reply. Matthew Miller. So, good news and bad news. In some ways, there are similarities between a project like Fedora and creating a laptop. Lenovo doesn't actually make the fingerprint reader, they get it from vendors. And with this model and going forward, supporting Fedora, and therefore the upstream Linux kernel, because that's how we do things, is a requirement Lenovo gives to their suppliers. They didn't do that before, and so older models may have hardware without Fedora compatibility. So in a way, this helps everyone. These devices should work with all modern Linux distros, but it doesn't solve the problem for older laptops with older hardware. September 26, 2020. Reply. George. Makes sense. But, shouldn't it be possible to decipher what was done by Lenovo/its suppliers to fix the issue, especially that this will help hundreds of Fedora users worldwide? I have a very new Lenovo laptop, IdeaPad S145-14 IIL, but I don't think the issue is new or old. It has to do with drivers and the kernel. September 26, 2020. Reply. Matthew Miller. Not necessarily, it's just that the new part is one which has support in the upstream kernel. The older models don't. It doesn't necessarily translate. They may be entirely different inside. September 26, 2020. Reply. Jeffrey Go. Have been on ThinkPads for the last 28 years and Fedora for last 16. So thankful to not have to fight the device driver battle with every new laptop, e.g. Validity 97 on the T470, so can afford to update my laptops a little more often, good for Lenovo, and hopefully good for Fedora. September 27, 2020. Reply. Madler. Totally. Been using ThinkPads for ages now. The only break was in 2011 when I was fool enough to buy a MacBook Pro, which left me with a melted motherboard after 2 years, and coming I just upgraded to the X1 from AT470S, was quite happy go get the fingerprint reader out of the box. Hooray. September 27, 2020. Reply. Stephen Drinnen. The only problem is you can buy the same machine, but i7, for nearly $1,000 less. With that price difference it doesn't make sense. Better to go to System 76. September 27, 2020. Reply. Capadio copies. WTF? Lenovo ships its PCS with pre-installed malware through which it spies on the users and sells their privacy. I don't mean to offend you, but pre-installed Fedora in Lenovo PC would mean another rootkit or a backdoor. Honestly, can't trust these guys. Can't trust anything pre-installed. September 27, 2020. Reply. Madler. Well, even if you want to reinstall everything yourself, which you'd be doing anyway, with a PC coming with Windows 10, you can now be sure that the hardware is going to be 100% supported and/or drivers provided. So either way, that's good news IMHO. September 27, 2020. Reply. Matthew Miller. The pre-installed image is stock Fedora workstation with no modifications except the addition of non-code documentation. The team working on this is totally unrelated to whoever made that decision in the past. In any case, if you can't support companies changing for the better, why would they ever change? September 27, 2020. Reply. Matthew Miller. But, of course, feel free to reinstall yourself. September 27, 2020. Reply. Bob Fleming. Thank God. I purchased a ThinkPad last year with Windows installed. That lasted a whole 6 months, and I am now running Linux Mint. If they had had a laptop with Fedora pre-installed, I would have happily purchased one. It would have saved a good deal of time and hassles. Lenovo makes fantastic laptops, now you can get them with a quality operating system as well. September 27, 2020. Reply. Alberto Patino. What about current users with a Lenovo laptop mentioned in article? I have P52, not P53, with Fedora 32. Unfortunately, I have 2 issues. 1. Fingerprint reader is just there as Fedora 32, did not recognized out of the box. Even looking at internet, I was not able to find a way to set up the reader. 2. ThinkPad USB 3.0 Ultra dock. Display port not working correctly and slow Ethernet port speed. Hopefully Lenovo has willings to provide repo with Fedora specifics. September 28, 2020. Reply. SVSV Sarma. What is the advantage of pre-installed OS if it is not cost-effective? You can as well purchase a raw system and install Fedora yourself, as Miller pointed out. Instead of pre-installation, they should announce it as Fedora compatible. That will encourage buyers for sure, as FOSS is free. I am glad that my HP Notebook 2015 is agreeing well with Fedora, and that should be the case. I earnestly hope that manufacturers will consider. September 28, 2020. Reply. Martin. The sale seems to have been extended to Linux now, so at least that problem is fixed. There are a few reasons why it's important to have Linux as a pre-installed option. It's easier for new adopters. Installing Linux from a USB is easy, but it's still a barrier for some who've never done it before. Many people just don't expect that level of admin on their devices, even though Linux could otherwise be a good option for them. There are many Linux users who just don't want a computer with any Microsoft on it. Microsoft hate has died down a bit since Windows is no longer the dominant computing platform, but it's still there, and well-deserved. Having compatible hardware is not the same as having supported software. My XPS 13 gets regular firmware updates through Fedora, and hopefully these Lenovos will too. October 1st, 2020. Reply. G. Smith. Where do I get a voucher from? Do they delivery to Australia, and are the prices in US dollars? October 1st, 2020. Reply. David F. Lanfer Sr. I have been using Fedora on my ThinkPad since Fedora 16, with great happiness. My only complaint, and I know it really isn't Fedora's fault, is the lack of printer drivers for all the other printer/scanners. No Lexmark, no Epson, and most others. I am able to use the HP laser printers at work, but we really need to get the printer companies to get on board. I would love to learn how to write my own drivers, but some brains just can't get around coding. October 1st, 2020. Reply. Madler. And, by the way, 33 beta runs Smoth on X1 Carbon slightly smiling face. October 1st, 2020. Reply. Rodrigo. This is a very big step for open source mindset, special with such a powerful vendor of computer systems. Thank you. October 2nd, 2020. Reply. Still learning. This is a great step. I own 3 different Lenovo boxes, 2 laptops, and one of their mini desktops. Fedora has worked excellent, minus normal hiccups. One OS upgrade went real bad, and I make my own mistakes. Price would be an issue. I would look at a strong IdeaPad option, number 4 GB RAM. I had to add Crucial's RAM to both laptops. 8 GB is only option in my humble opinion. I like the combo, Lenovo plus AMD plus Fedora. Get that sweet spot for your tinkerer/home user dollar-wise. Windows did not last long on these for under $300 including extra RAM. October 3rd, 2020. Reply. Matthew Miller. Update for everyone concerned about the price. Looks like there's sale pricing again, and the base model is currently $1,287, which is just under $50 cheaper than the cheapest Windows configuration. And the nice screen is back in stock. October 5th, 2020. Reply. Max. Thank you, Matthew. Amazing work to get this done. October 8th, 2020. Reply. James. The funny thing is, the Lenovo website allows you to buy various Adobe software for your ThinkPad, stuff like Photoshop and Premiere. I wonder how that'd work. And yes, I did make sure I had the Linux X1 Carbon selected. October 17th, 2020. Reply. Matthew Miller. Yeah, this is a known problem. The answer is that wouldn't work, so don't select those. October 17th, 2020. Reply. Marin Duffy. Just wanted to point out the font is broken on this one. https://pagure.io/Fedora magazine-C/21D5-8FFC8E313B3171860DD6481730-3EB439-1 ? The fonts that are missing are part of the Fedora magazine font set, so when these SVGs are built we should make sure the environment has the following Fedora magazine fonts installed: Malat, Montserrat. October 20th, 2020. Reply. Paul W. Frields. Thanks Mo. I made a change to the magazine docs based on this comment. https://pagure.io/fedora-magazine/c/72c5593c0d16994cdff0491439. Montserrat. October 20th, 2020. Reply. Paul W. Fields. Thanks Mo. I made a change to the magazine docs based on this comment. https://pagure.io/fedora-magazine/c/72c5593c0d16994cdff0491439. I also fixed the image. October 21st, 2020. Reply. Leave a reply. Comment asterisk. Name asterisk. Email asterisk. Website. Notify me of follow-up comments by email. Notify me of new posts by email. This site uses Akismet to reduce spam. Learn how your comment data is processed. Fedora 32 is available now. Read the release announcement for all the details. Subscribe to Fedora magazine via email. Join 7,171 other subscribers. Subscribe. Contribute to the magazine. Fedora magazine is looking for contributors. Propose a new article. Become a writer. Become an editor. The opinions expressed on this website are those of each author, not of the author's employer or of Red Hat. Fedora magazine aspires to publish all content under a Creative Commons license, but may not be able to do so in all cases. You are responsible for ensuring that you have the necessary permission to reuse any work on this site. The Fedora logo is a trademark of Red Hat Incorporated terms and conditions.